Welcome to the deep dive. If you're anywhere in the retail space today, especially, dealing with in-store digital stuff or analytics, you're probably facing this weird paradox. You've got tons of data, right? Data rich, but somehow you're still insight poor.
That's a common frustration.
Yeah, you've got loyalty program telling you who the shopper is, maybe sensors tracking where they go in the store, digital campaign dashboards. But here's the catch. All that potentially valuable intelligence, it's stuck, trapped in separate silos.
Right. They don't talk to each other effectively.
Exactly. And the result is these fragmented retail media networks, RMNs we call them, the screens on the end caps feel totally disconnected from the analytics back at HQ. And that means, well, pretty seriously under-optimized ad revenue, doesn't it? The system feels static. It reacts days later, maybe weeks, not now.
And that's really where the opportunity lies. The tech fragmentation isn't just tech. It's a failure of, let's say, orchestration. And that's precisely the problem that this idea of multi-agentic AI is aiming to solve.
Okay, multi-agentic AI.
Yeah, we're not just talking about slightly better software here. Think about creating specialized autonomous agents, like digital workers. Each one has its own expertise, its own domain knowledge, but they're programmed to collaborate, to work together.
Towards what?
Towards one single declared retail goal. That's the key shift. It turns the store from, a bunch of separate processes into, well, the sources call it a unified intelligent organism.
A living organism.
Yeah.
Okay, let's definitely unpack that because our mission today is really to dive deep into this concept, agentic commerce, you called it.
That's the term emerging, yeah.
Right. We want to meet these specialized agents you mentioned that power this new kind of ecosystem. And the system's mission, its intent, could be something really ambitious, like boost shopper engagement and maximize media yield.
Yeah.
Everywhere, now.
Exactly, that kind of specific measurable goal.
So this idea of a single intent guiding everything in the store, the content, the targeting, even the pricing, that sounds huge, a really massive ambition. For years, people have tried to get there with, complex dashboards, but there was always a human operator in the loop.
And that's precisely why it often fell short, the human bottleneck.
Yep.
Multi-agentic AI aims to remove that. Think about current RMNs. They often get stuck because they need manual intervention, right? You see a KPI dip on a screen, and then someone, a person, has to decide to change the campaign creative or maybe even adjust the store layout. That takes time.
Right.
If we connect this back, the agents automate that whole cycle. They build what tech folks call a closed feedback loop. Observe the environment, create a response, deliver it, measure the result, and then optimize continuously.
And they share data instantly, no waiting for reports.
Exactly. The key is the shared data and shared intent. It happens instantaneously between the agents. It kind of bypasses the need for one giant unified master database, which is often impractical anyway.
Okay, so we're shifting from a store that just collects data passively to one that actively acts on it, minute by minute, without waiting for someone's shift to start.
Precisely. Think of the difference between looking at a static photo versus watching a live video feed. The system senses what's happening. It thinks based on its programming and data, and then it acts dynamically, based on real-world inputs, making sure the digital stuff matches the physical reality.
All right, this is where it gets really interesting. To pull off this kind of autonomous orchestration, you need specialists, right? Yeah. Agents with deep expertise in their specific area. The source material seems to break this down to 4 key pillars. Let's start with the foundation, intelligence. The first one we could call maybe the audience intelligence agent.
That's a good name for it, yes.
Its job is to understand not just who is in the store, but what they're actually doing. What's its core function?
Its main function is to, well, observe the world in motion, as one source puts it. If you look at tech examples like, say, Footprints AI mentioned in the materials, this agent maps the real-world shopper journey. It tracks how people move, dwell time, how long they pause by the cheese counter, for example, and engagement patterns across different zones or aisles.
And it's not just about the physical tracking, right? The real power comes from combining data sources.
Oh, absolutely critical. That fusion is everything. It takes that physical spatial awareness, where people are and what they're doing, and it blends it with online behavioral data. Things like, what did they look at on the store's app? What email offer did they click on yesterday?
Okay.
And this lets the agent move way beyond simple demographics. Forget just male, 30-something, lives locally. It creates what are called intent-based shopper cohorts.
Okay, unpack that phrase for us. Intent-based shopper cohorts. Sounds a bit technical.
Think of it like this. Instead of targeting all men aged 30-40, It targets, say, the commuter who just entered, is moving quickly towards the ready meals section, seems hungry based on dwell time near food, and previously searched for vegan sandwiches online.
Wow, that's specific.
That's the level of granularity. It understands the real-time motivation. The outcome for the retailer and the advertiser is this hyper-localized targeting. It aligns the media you show them with their actual in-the-moment intent. It bridges that big gap between the physical store and the digital world.
Brilliant. Okay, that makes sense. Let's move to agent number 2. This one sounds like the store's eyes and ears for checking if messages are actually working. The shopper experience agent.
Exactly. This agent is like the store's sensory system. It relies heavily on spatial intelligence again, but also something called digital twin technology. Examples like Worlds.io are mentioned. It continuously monitors the environment traffic flow, dwell zones again, but also visual engagement. Are people looking at the screens? It gauges the real-world response to a campaign.
Hang on, for listeners maybe less familiar, what exactly is digital twin technology in a store? Is it like a live virtual copy of the store?
That's a great way to put it, yes. It's essentially a perfect, dynamic, virtual map of the entire physical environment, updated constantly, in real time. So when a new campaign goes live on a screen, this agent, using that digital twin, can sense how shoppers are reacting. Are they stopping? Are they glancing? Or are they just walking straight past, completely ignoring it?
And based on that?
Based on that immediate feedback, it can trigger real-time adjustments, maybe change the content on the screen, or even suggest minor layout tweaks if feasible.
That's a fundamental shift. The physical space itself becomes adaptive.
It really does. It transforms every physical surface, every screen, every end cap into a measurable media surface, one that's constantly optimizing its own content and flow based on how real people are behaving right then and there.
Which logically leads us to agent number 3, the creative side. This must be the media creation agent. Its job is to generate the right content for that specific moment.
Precisely. So agents 1 and 2 figured out the who, the audience, and the where and when, the context. This agent handles the what. Using AI tools, perhaps like Bria AI mentioned in our sources, it autonomously generates tailored visuals, banners, maybe even short video clips, all designed specifically for that micro moment.
Okay, but I can hear brand managers getting nervous. Compliance is huge. If an AI is just spitting out content automatically, how do you guarantee it stays on brand? Or, doesn't create something legally problematic?
That's a very valid concern, and it's where the agent's specialization is crucial. These AI agents aren't just inventing things randomly. They draw directly from pre-approved assets, brand guidelines, campaign goals, legal disclaimers, all fed into it beforehand.
Okay. So it works within constraints.
Exactly. The core instruction is to produce content that is both on-brand and adaptive. It's using AI for speed, personalization, and relevance, but always within the guardrails set by the brand. The outcome is essentially a living creative engine. It massively speeds things up, removing that huge human bottleneck of manually creating and deploying dozens of versions of an ad.
Got it. Okay, and that brings us to the 4th pillar, the money agent, the media yield agent. This one has to make sure the retailer is actually maximizing revenue from all these smart displays.
Absolutely. This agent, maybe using tech similar to Distill AI, is focused on the hard numbers. It monitors the inventory of available ad space, the demand from different brands wanting to advertise, and the performance data coming back from the shopper experience agent. Where is it working best? Which screens? Which times?
Okay.
And it uses advanced decision intelligence AI, again, to dynamically adjust the pricing, the bidding for spots, and the placement instantly.
This sounds less like traditional ad sales and, more like a stock market trading floor, but for ads inside a shop.
It really does. And the sources offer a fantastic analogy for this. It uses essentially the same kind of dynamic pricing logic that airlines use for seats on a plane.
Let's stick with that airline seat analogy for a second.
Yeah.
That implies prices could change really fast, high volatility. How do brands know they're getting a fair deal if the price changes minute by minute? And how do you avoid just showing ads from the highest bidder, even if it's less relevant?
Right. That's the core job of yield management. It's a balancing act. The goal isn't just the highest price possible in that second. It's about optimal yield overall, which includes delivering optimal return on ad spend, ROAS, for the advertiser too. The agent constantly weighs the demand, the real-time context from the other agents, and the retailer's overarching intent. So if a screen near the entrance suddenly becomes super valuable because a cohort of high-intent shoppers just walked in, yes, the price might adjust upwards instantly to reflect that value. This maximizes the retailer's yield for that premium moment, but it also ensures the advertiser who wins that spot is getting access to a highly qualified audience, increasing their chance of conversion. It's adaptive, data-driven, and focused on optimizing revenue intelligently. Okay, so now we've met these four highly specialized agents: the audience expert, the environment sensor, the creative engine, and the financial optimizer. But they can't just run wild. They need a conductor. And sitting at the center of this whole system is the orchestrator agent.
The conductor, okay.
Its main job isn't to do the individual calculations. The specialists handle that. Its role is to interpret that single high-level intent we talked about, that big mission statement for the store. And then it coordinates the collaboration between the four specialists seamlessly, simultaneously. It translates the big goal into specific automated tasks for each agent. It guides, it doesn't micromanage.
Let's make this concrete. Can we walk through that specific example from the source material? Say the system gets a simple intent: boost engagement and sales in the snack aisle. What actually happens in that split second?
Right, and the key is that it is simultaneous and coordinated. The orchestrator immediately pings all four specialized agents, giving them their piece of the mission.
Okay, so Agent 1, the audience intelligence agent, instantly starts identifying relevant, intent-based cohorts moving towards or already in the snack aisle. People whose data suggest they might be hungry or looking for snacks right now?
Yeah.
Exactly. And at the same time, Agent 2, the shopper experience agent, is assessing the current state. How are people behaving in that aisle now? Is the existing content on the screens there working? Are people pausing or just walking past?
And while that's happening, Agent 3, the media creation agent, is already generating a super relevant ad, maybe featuring a specific snack that matches the online search history or known preferences of the cohort identified by Agent 1.
Precisely. Hyper-personalized, context-aware creative. And finally, Agent 4, the media yield agent, is working out the optimal placement and price for that ad, which screen in the aisle, right now, to deliver the best yield based on the high predicted intent of that specific shopper or cohort.
Wow. It's immediate, it's automated, and it's incredibly targeted. And the sources stress that even after the ad is shown, the process doesn't just stop there.
Right.
Absolutely not. That interaction, whether the person looked, paused, or bought something, becomes new data. The shopper experience agent feeds that performance result right back into the system. That informs the audience intelligence agent: hey, that targeting worked. Or maybe it didn't. It informs the media creation agent about which creative resonated. It's continuous. This is the perfect illustration of that closed feedback loop in action. Observe, create, deliver, optimize, and then repeat constantly, minute by minute, second by second.
So every single shopper interaction, even just glancing at a screen, becomes a useful data signal. And every ad shown is a chance for the system to learn and get smarter. It literally self-corrects.
That really is the core concept here. We're moving beyond these static retail media networks. Retail advertising stops being about just placing fixed ads on screens. It becomes about orchestrating entire personalized shopping journeys that learn and adapt in real time. This whole transformation where data, content, delivery, and intelligence all flow together seamlessly, that's what we're starting to call agentic commerce.
Okay, so this deep dive has really mapped out a journey from fragmented data silos and static RMNs to these intelligent, genuinely self-optimizing ecosystems. We've looked at how specialized AI agents bring deep domain expertise, using concrete examples from the startup world: Footprints AI for audience, Worlds.io for experience, Bria AI for creation, Distel AI for yield, showing this isn't just theory, it's becoming reality.
Yeah, and it fundamentally changes the game. The retailer isn't just selling ad space anymore. They're operating an intelligent, responsive media environment. It's a whole new capability.
We've seen how these four agents, guided by an orchestrator, can collaborate to achieve a single, clear goal for the business.
So if we zoom out and think about the biggest implication here, if every screen, every digital touch point, maybe even the layout of the aisle itself becomes part of this responsive, intelligent system, a system that senses, thinks, and acts dynamically based on who you are and what you're doing right now. There's a final thought to maybe chew on. How does the very nature of shopping change? What does the consumer experience even mean when the physical store itself behaves less like a fixed building and more like a constantly learning, adaptive website that reshapes itself around you? And, maybe more pointedly, what's the role of traditional brand marketing when the store's own intelligence is potentially always one step ahead?